I was thinking more about gas not having mass and not having weight. I'm thinking maybe I could... Yeah, but people would have to actually be in chat. Maybe they felt this coming, that's why nobody's showing up. Because they felt I was gonna ask them questions. Like, I kinda want people in my chat to explain to me why I say gas has no weight. I just want the evidence that everything that I've been telling is not just slipped away into the sewers. It just go past everybody. Because I've been explaining this so many times now, it's just... Like, and I'm kind of surprised that the lack of fluidity with which even the FED team is able to deal with this subject. Like, to me, there is no more confusion at this point. None whatsoever. I got this model in my head, it's there, this is how it works. People can tell me, oh no, you got this or that or this, or I have an object. And I'm like, screw all of you. Seriously. Like, you're just barely following track. Like, I know what I'm doing. I've discussed this so many damn times. There is no more question in my mind that I got it right. And I've explained all sides of it, like, multiple times. No, they don't, truth matter. Gases don't have weight. That's not weight. It's not... It's colloquial weight. Like, some weight. But the numbers of it are meaningless. They're not proportional to, like, an unofficial weight. Like, oh, what's the weight of this material? Or, like, the density. Like, yeah, that doesn't work with that. The weight is ignored. Because it's not linear to anything with the material. It's just like, oh, there is some weight, colloquial weight. Oh, it happens to exert pressure. But that pressure reading doesn't help you with anything. It doesn't actually tell you anything about the material. Like, you can't have gas in a tank, register some weight, and then by the weight be able to figure out what type of gas it is. That's absolutely impossible. Yeah? Because it's just some weight. Colloquial. Gases don't have inherent weight. These conditions only happen under very specific circumstances, which aren't the normal natural circumstances of dealing with gases. You see, gases don't float around in their own containers. They have one big container they all share. So gases can only be registering some kind of weight if you pressurize them in a separate container. But that weight is colloquial weight. It's not conventional weight. You can't derive any information based off the weight reading about the material. So you could just keep chanting the same shit over and over again. Write some more elaborate comments, put some more formulas in there. Make it seem like you're really educated when you really don't understand anything that I'm talking about. You don't give proof that you understand what I'm talking about because you don't feed back what I'm talking about and then using what I'm talking about to point out how what I'm talking about is wrong, you fuckwits! Yeah? Just saying, nah, this, that, oh, it's provable. Yeah, fuck you. You don't even understand what weight is. dipshit. Hello, Wrath. Yeah, so gases obviously don't have weight. They may register some weight, but that weight's not comporting in lockstep with any atomic mass or any linear use of the convention of weight. Yeah, the convention of weight, you can actually use that to determine at least properties, density, or of a solid material, let's say, and then you can try to figure out, determine what it is based on that weight property that you can derive. You can derive the density with it very easily, yeah? Even with a little bit of it. Yes, with gases, that doesn't work, dipshit! Is that even weight then? No, it isn't, Richard. It's not the convention of weight, yeah? When you're talking about a kilogram, or a pound, or a carat, right? You're talking about the conventions of weight. The linear, number-based system of quantas, amounts, that are specifically anchored. And that are consistent. That's the whole thing about it, is the consistency, yeah? That's why it is used as a convention, because of its linear consistency, yeah? You can't do that with gases. You can register some weight which isn't conventional weight, it's colloquial weight, and you shove it and compress it in a tank. And then you can put it on the scale and then, oh, guess what? It reads a little more. Yeah, but you can't tie that weight registry in with anything that will tell you what the material is or exactly how much of it is. Yeah? You can't get anything out of that reading. That's why it's not conventional weight, which is the weight that we all use. It's colloquial weight. Yeah? It's just like if you take a bar of gold and you suspend it on a bunch of wires stuck to helium balloons, it doesn't mean that that's anti-weight. Yeah, that the gas is minus weight, and then the minus weight of the helium balloons offsets the plus weight of the gold bar. Well, for practical uses that kind of works, right? The colloquial registry of the pressure of the colloquial weight will be lessened, but that bar of gold is still going to weigh the conventional weight exactly as it does. It's just being subjected to other forces. Yeah? Not to anti-weight, because anti-weight cannot exist. There is no anti-weight in conventional weight. That doesn't exist. There's only plus and there's zero. Look. The helium balloon float? Well, because the rubber and the helium combined as an object, and they are an object, because the content can't just freely move around outside, well, its density is lower or equal, if it's gonna float in place, to the air that surrounds it. And that's why it's moving upward. You can't put a helium balloon on the scale and register its weight. Right? But that same helium balloon, that gas inside of it, when it was compressed in a tank, then that tank and the rubber together put on the scale, yeah, it weighed a little more. It weighed a little more, and then that compressed helium that weighed a little more was vacated into the balloon, expanded into equilibrium pressure-wise with the surrounding medium, became expanded, and suddenly that weight that was registered colloquially evaporated. It just disappeared. Like the weight suddenly became anti-weight. Yeah? Yeah? Does that make any sense? It doesn't, does it? When you say it like that. That is what happens though, because gas doesn't actually have weight. It's not tied in with the convention. The convention of weight has no relations to material in their gaseous state. It's not used for that. There is no anti-weight or negative weight. Weight is supposed to be materially inherent, but it only applies to liquids and solids. That's where it becomes consistent, reliable, and repeatable. The quanta yields the same weight every time. When it's a gas, it doesn't happen like that. That's why gas is not involved in the convention of weight. But you can compress gas in a tank, and then it will register some weight on a scale. But that some weight is not the conventional weight, because gas doesn't actually have weight. But the object with the compressed gas becomes in disequilibrium with the surrounding, causing that compressed gas to exert a little disequilibrium pressure extra, which is still registered as colloquial weight. Some weight. Not weight that you could tie the number of that registry of the weight in with anything that is useful in the convention of weight. It's just some weight that you can't use for anything other than, oh, it's this much more pressure. That's it. Hello, Tommy. Was I said anti-weight? Yeah, it was just to exemplify that something happens that you can't explain, that doesn't fit in the convention. Tebok. That's why I said anti-weight that one time. Right? It doesn't actually exist in the convention. I mean, you could mathematically work with that, but in the actual physics-based convention, the really is level, yeah, you can't have anti-weight. It doesn't work like that. Gas has mass that they can drive. Yeah, I don't need anybody to post anything. Thank you very much, Tebok. But yeah, gas has atomic mass, officially designated, or rather the material has an atomic mass designated, right? Which supposedly the gas still has, it just doesn't actually have it in its gaseous state. Right? How do they establish the atomic weight? of hydrogen or oxygen, which in the natural environment is a gas. Well, they had to compress it until it no longer was a gas, and then they could get a consistent weight reading of it, right? Because oxygen, it turns into a liquid, and carbon dioxide, it turns into like a solid crystal, crystallizes. Very weird, right? But that's another state that becomes consistent. Like it doesn't become more fluffy under lower pressure. No, it simply evaporates. It's just that the threshold of the pressure, and then it becomes a solid. And when it's in its solid state, it does attain weight, and it gains that very reliable trait of weight, the convention of weight. And they use that to derive the atomic mass. And that's what you get there. That's what it's registered to have. Like the atomic mass is just like what is the mass that we attain from it while it's in a reliable state, for which they have to basically compress pure gases in order to not then have them be gases anymore, so they can register some weight and then derive the atomic weight. Right? But that's the third option. Or fourth at this point. I mean, I had a show earlier this week about the 3 forms of weight. Well, technically it's 4, sort of. Because colloquial weight is the 4th one. But colloquial weight is not really an official thing. It's just weight. Some weight. There's no numbers tied in with it. Right? Well, the other ones are conventional weight, the linear, reliable system, and then there is the atomic weight, which is like defined in chemistry. Right? It's what the thing that they also use with the mole calculation to use that. Right? And then you have the 4th branch, which is pure fiction, but still very popular, and that's the Newtonian mechanics weight, which assumes a whole bunch. Right? And Newtonian weight is popularly in people's minds tied in with conventional weight. People think it's the same thing. It isn't. That mole is a specific amount. It's like a crazy number that is theorized. It's chemistry, man. I don't even know a lot about mole. They have to ask Adam Meakin. He'll tell you the fine details, or QE too. But it has to do with like a multiplication of a singular atom type, and then you have a specific quanta, and that multiplication is mole. It's weird, but they use that in chemistry.